And we are live. Hello, hello, hello. A little bit earlier than scheduled because we've had a scheduling conflict today, which, it happens. It happens. We are here with the beautiful Nick Davies to talk about her business and life in business, and of course, audience attraction and what that was like for Nick. So, welcome, Nick. Please do let everybody who's watching either live or on replay know who you are and what you do, and just some more about your fabulous self.
Okay. Hi, I'm Nick. A lot of you will already know me, but for those that don't, I'm kind of in Dawn's membership as well. Did audience attraction last year. I say run two businesses. One's on hold at the moment while I concentrate on our family business, which is our steel fabrications company called A&N Davies Fabrications Limited. Making gates and railings for domestic and commercial properties throughout the northwest of England and beyond. You want gates and railings, come to us. So that's kind of where I'm at the moment, kind of steering that ship into our next period of growth. And my other one, which has been on hold because of my health, is Plate Spinning Academy, which I have literally just had to press pause while I get my health sorted, but hoping for that to return hopefully in the next few weeks. So last year I was a little bit like, the challenge was going on and I was like, this looks really good, but I'd already committed to doing another course with somebody else. Not this, it was just, I was thinking about my time that I was going to be spending on it. And I was like, oh, am I just going to be one of those people that just goes for the next thing? I'll have that. And I think I slid in with 5 minutes to go to the deadline. Didn't I? I was kind of like, shall I do it? Shall I not? And I went, do you know what? What would the decider for me was, I had been seeing a couple of other people in our world doing really well on social media, transitioning from what they were doing, which was okay. And suddenly they were getting all these really good results. And then I put two and two together and realised that they'd been on audience attraction the year before. And I went, I think I fancy a bit of that.
And that's the good thing, right?
Absolutely. And so I joined up, and I think in the first week was a game changer for me already. What we went through in the first week was definitely all about what blocks we have, visibility, and also what I loved about it was it made me realise that I was focusing the wrong kind of content, the right kind of content, but in the wrong areas.
Yeah.
So the example would be what I was doing in my Facebook group, I should have been doing on my Facebook page.
Yes.
I was putting an awful lot of effort into that, and it was kind of, it should have been more of a public thing. So when I pick that back up again, that's what I'll be doing. Where I'm at now is I've got our fabrication social media is now scheduled up until I think the 11th of May, something like that. And also I've got everything I haven't been able to schedule is drafted. Everything's behind the scenes. Everything is organized. I am no longer stressing about what am I going to post today. I know what I'm going to post. I know what I'm going to post next week, the week after. The strategy's there, and I just feel like this massive weight's been lifted. And I just feel so much better for using what you deliver in the course. The framework is just it works. It works. And I've kind of fallen out with social media recently. I've kind of withdrawn quite a lot. And this is helping me get back into it, definitely.
Oh, I love that. I love that, because I think a lot of people are feeling a bit disillusioned over social, actually. I think it's been a bit of a vibe that not everybody is really enjoying all of the noise that's occurring. Yeah. And it can be quite difficult for those of us that actually professionally need to show up here in this space regularly. And you know, for other people, they can shut social media off, and they can maybe, if they wanted to, even just not come on it for a couple of weeks and recoup. But for us that have businesses on here, it's really important that we're still representing all of the things that we offer, and we're showing up for our people and our audiences. So what's good about that and what you're saying is that in having that scheduled and having that all planned, you could actually sneak away and do what you need to do in terms of not having to be beholden to social at all, and everything would run effortlessly in the background, still doing what you want it to do and achieving what you want it to achieve for your businesses, you know, for the foreseeable, which is fantastic. And I love that you mentioned how much lighter it makes you feel, because social can be so heavy and it can be so time consuming. But once you've actually got it sorted and you've untangled all of those things, it's the easiest thing in the world, right?
Absolutely. I didn't realise just how much stress it was causing me. Until I started to I had to take a step back first and then go, right, okay, how am I going to approach this? Because it just was not sustainable the way that I was doing it before. As you'll know, and quite a few watching might know, I've had long-term chronic health issues going on. So quite often, I'm also very susceptible to what I consume on social media as well. Like, quite sensitive to it. I've had to kind of block quite a few accounts, and so I've got to be very careful about what I'm doing. But with this, I've been able to take a step back and go, right, okay, how is it going to work for me? How do I make it work for me? And knowing that I'm putting the right kind of content and not just throwing anything out there, and putting it in the right places as well. Like I said, I didn't realize how much that was impacting my health. And also with that, sometimes I do need to withdraw for a while, pull myself back together again, and then I can approach it. And I think what I was doing before was just like posting every day. It just wasn't working for me because I was just getting myself so stressed. But knowing that I've got the next 2 months, and the only reason is because I use Facebook Creator Meta Suite, whatever it's called now. I use that, so you can only schedule 75 days in advance. I know there's other platforms out there that you can do that, but what you can do is draft as well. So you can schedule what you've got, and what I'm going to do now is go back and then draft what I need to put on for the rest of the year. It'll chop and change around, but I've pretty much got my plan sussed for the rest of the year on what we're going to put in on our page. And we've got a theme for each month. We've got things to talk about. And I've also kind of got an idea of the repurposing aspect of it as well, for our Instagram account. So you're not going to see the same thing on Facebook and Instagram for us. It is split, but there is some aspect to repurposing there. And I'm getting my head around that as well, about how to get the absolute most out of the content that you do create. And it's just saving so much time.
Well, it is unbelievable. And you know what I love about that is that often what happens, and much like what you're saying today, is that if you actually think about the time that you have free now, whilst all of that is sorted and you're confident about what's going out, that time is where really key ideas for business comes in. This is where you can look at other areas for connection and making sales, or sending out proposals, or doing what you need to do to actually make some money in the business, right? And nobody really addresses the opportunity cost that is lost by the CEO of the company sitting in the social media manager's seat for longer than they're supposed to, and missing out on all of the things that the CEO should be doing for the advancement of the company, for the business. And it's such a massive opportunity cost. And when people say to me, like, I'm not sure if I can afford to do it because of money or time, it's actually one of those things that I'm always feeling like those two things are the two reasons why you should do it, because they're the things that you'll get back from actually figuring out how to do it and to do it effectively.
Yeah, I've always got kind of my head on now for content creation, taking photographs, doing videos, thinking of like making little notes and then bringing them all together, because I write quite well. I'm just not amazing on video hall lives, which I'm working on.
You're doing really well today. I was just thinking that you're fantastic on video and live. You're doing brilliantly.
I'm getting better, definitely getting better. But the whole thing was just becoming, for me, was just becoming an absolute nightmare, and I just had to step back from it. It's like, I can't afford to pay a social media manager to come and work for us full time. And it gets to the point where it's like, this is a full-time job. What I'm not a social media manager. I want, I am the CEO of Fabs, Davies Fabs. That's my role. That's what I'm supposed to be doing. And instead I'm kind of working out, like, every single day, like, what do I post today? How do we become visible? Now I've got my head around it. It's sorted. I can just sit back.
Just sit back and relax. What I really like about it as well is that when we're thinking about, Stephanie says you're amazing, you are amazing. When we think about what the trajectory of our business should be and what we actually want to achieve in terms of maybe not this year, maybe next year, or maybe even the year after, this is where your social media and your messaging needs to be considered now, not at that time. If you want to move into any level of transition, or you want to attract different audiences, or if you've changed the business and you have a slightly different ideal client, and this happens a lot as people evolve, their businesses evolve. Perhaps somebody who was your ideal client 2 years ago isn't at the same stage of somebody you would like to work with today, and you need to be really allowing yourself to immerse your strategy for social to happen a step before it's actually being displayed. So I know for you, there are some big plans in terms of your businesses, and you're working on making those plans happen maybe 12 months from now, but you're doing the work and you're putting the messages out now for those things to grow.
Yeah, that's exactly what we're doing. Yeah. So in 12 months' time, we're looking with fabrications that we get a lot of referrals from previous clients, but we are looking to expand. And obviously, social media is where the people are at. So between Facebook and Instagram, we're very slowly starting to raise our profile on there, making sure. I've had comments already like, you're posting every day, you're a lot more consistent. Oh, you're everywhere, that sort of thing. Whereas previously there was just nothing, and if there was, it was just the odd photograph put on of a job, but there was no story behind it. And what I've really spent time doing is making sure that the photographs are right, that the branding's right, and eye-catching, and that I'm putting us into the copy, how we would speak to people, a customer face to face, and just a little bit more storytelling as well into why we made the gate like that, or what the client wanted, without identifying who they are. And it's already kind of getting more engagement. And the idea is to just keep raising the profile of the business to the point where we can grow, take on more staff. I mean, the trajectory that we're on for it is to be in hopefully this time next year have another 3 or 4 staff members, be in a bigger workshop, and I will hopefully be able to hand over some of my work then onto somebody else, and then I can sit back and have a rest.
The world's your oyster. I love it. And I love the fact that you recognize as well that the genius of your messaging and the brand and the heart behind it is actually you guys, and that you found a way to communicate that and for it to be so relatable for the people who really want to work with you. And if there's one kind of secret sauce, if there's just one tip to take from this, then that is it. That's the genius of the piece, is not trying to hide behind this professional veil, but just communicate human to human, even though it's through a digital format. All the same communication skills apply, and that communication and that comprehension is so important for getting those messages out. And I love the fact that you have it all sorted. I love the fact that you have it all scheduled and that it is not a stress for you. Because for somebody in your situation who does have the health things to consider every single day, who has 2 businesses and all the ideas thoughts and situations around those two things all of the time, which can be overwhelming, right? Like it's a lot of stuff to think about. For you to have that just taken off, so you don't have to worry about it, and it's not another pressure on your day. It's just like, it's beautiful for me to hear that, because that is exactly what I was hoping it would achieve for you.
Yeah, it absolutely has. And you get into routine, and you know, I've got in my diary the next like content day where I'll probably just spend a few hours writing. I've got a list of dates that, okay, I can talk about that on that date, that on that date. And as ideas come to me, I kind of bank them and then return to them at a later date. But there's no firefighting anymore. Coming from somebody who used to work for the fire service, I did feel like you were constantly firefighting every day. Like what panic, like, you know, being trying. What's the word? You were reactive. Yeah, you kind of like, what going to put on today? Well, I've kind of already got it sussed, you know. And it's still because it's our page. It may be the first time that somebody's come across us if they search for us on Google, because we're a little bit different with that. It's a product business. So somebody might Google us and find our website, but also then go, well, I'll check social media as well and see what they're doing on there. And a comment we did have when I wasn't posting was, are you still in business?
Yeah.
And we hadn't posted for a few months, and you do wonder if you go on a page and it's like, well, we've not posted in 3 months. Are they still doing it? Are they still, you know?
Still going? Yeah.
Now, the content we've got on there is just like the baseline content. It's not anything too fancy, but there is something going out every single day, and it just lets people know, yes, we're still here, we're still doing, this is what we're doing. This is the recent work we've done. But it also gives that scope then for me to not feel under pressure to keep posting, you know, oh God, what am I going to post? But I can do that if need be. I think I put a pancake recipe on yesterday morning, last minute. Just got, oh, well, this is the pancake recipe we use. It's got nothing to do with gates or railings, but it's just showing a little bit of us then. Yeah. All the feedback we get from Adrian is the first point of contact when he goes out to do a measure or a quote. He's so friendly. Everybody warms to him. But people that don't know us, there is something with people contacting tradesmen. They're like, sometimes be a little bit, oh, am I going to get ripped off? They're going to be a bit, you know. And I would like somebody to come onto our Facebook page and go, no, that's not them. These are the right people for us. They can have a bit of a laugh. They know what they're doing, but they're still professional as well. And they're approachable. We want to be as approachable as possible.
Yeah. The thing is, you mentioned that, and it's a really fantastic point, because in terms of trades, there are so many blockages for people and not knowing who to go to. I mean, Checker Trade created a whole business model around that entire vibe, right? And you can sense now the people that, you know, your general public can actually tell a business from one that perhaps is less professional from your social media. They are more savvy. People are on social more regularly. They're consuming content more regularly. And after the last 2 years of people being more online than ever before, they have been able to consume and recognize those really legit businesses to, you know, you have a go cowboy types. I'm trying to be polite, but you can tell the quality of the content that goes out, the quality of the messages that are being shared are completely different. And it can make them a massive difference in terms of who chooses to go with you versus who will go, you know, with somebody else. People aren't looking for any opportunity to be ripped off or for any opportunity for something bad to happen. We don't have time for it. We don't have the money for it. We want to make sure that when we're landing on social medias, it gives us actually that real sense of reassurance that these are the right people to work with. And that's just such a wonderful thing.
Yeah, that's exactly what we're working towards, because we know they exist. They'll come up, they'll take your money, and you'll never see them again.
Yeah.
We know we've had a couple of people contact us saying, like, you know, somebody's run off with our money, but we still need the job doing. We need to show people that we're here to stay. We're not going anywhere. We're well established. We're not just a fly by night. And the Facebook page and the Instagram page are perfect for that. Absolutely perfect.
Yeah, just to give people that feeling of actually, I can contact these people and explore the option without any worry.
Yeah, I'm just reading what Steph's got there. I'm always nervous about calling certain trades as I'm worried I don't know what to say. Absolutely. Now, people don't know until you actually meet Adrian in person. He will explain everything. I've been mansplained, and it's not
It's not fun. It's not fun.
It's not fun at all. But also, you do get a bit wary. I've got a post going out for International Women's Day next week, and it is about that we are approachable. If you've ever been hesitant of getting in touch regarding getting some work done, if need be, I'll come on the visit as well. I'll come on the measure as well. We just want to have that female face to go with the business as well, because I know for a lot of people it can be a little bit. Well, I know I've done it in the past. I've not got work done because I'm like, well, I don't know who to trust. I don't know if I'm going to get ripped off. I don't know,
And it's, that's a massive feeling. It's a massive block for people. And if they're in that space where they're thinking, actually, I really want this work to get done, and yet they have that block, the likelihood of them reaching out. I mean, we're all so busy as well. If you think about all the things you have on, and you think, oh, I should really do that, and that. And we forget to do those things anyway. So for there to be an additional block there's no chances there of somebody actually reaching out. So this is brilliant. Thank you so much. We've only got 5 minutes left, so I'm going to ask you the big question. If there's anybody watching today or watching on replay who is considering doing audience attraction but is still on the fence, what would your advice to them be? And you could be brutally honest. It's a loaded question. It sounds like it's in my favor, but please be brutally honest for the people who are watching.
This has had the biggest impact on our social media side of everything. I've done different trainings here, there, and everywhere. The audience attraction, I remember being really upset when it was the last one. It was like, I don't want it to end from start to finish. There is so much. There's a lot to take in. I mean, there's still bits of it that I've not gone through in detail. Though it is fully comprehensive. But yeah, if anybody is hesitating, I hesitated, and then kind of like last minute decision, come on, let's do it. And I do not regret it at all. It has been one of the best things. And I refer back to certain aspects of it. This has helped me now to get to a point where I am no longer stressing over my social media.
Yeah, it's one of those wonderful things, because we give lifetime access. We can see that people still log on from the first ever run of audience attraction, and it wasn't called audience attraction then, it was called content creation mastery. And we still see people log on to that now and rewatch things. So that's how valuable it is. And obviously the latest version has always got more, because every single year it gets bigger, and every single year Facebook and Instagram in particular bring out more things. But even this year, Twitter's brought out a bunch of new things. There's new things on LinkedIn as well. And it's like, it just creates this massive kind of snowball effect of having that overall knowledge that you can, at any point, it doesn't matter if it's 2 years in the future and you have a pivot in your business, or if you have a new service or any of those things, you'll be able to go, actually, let me just refresh my knowledge on this and go back to this and make it easy on yourself all over again.
Absolutely. It's so easy to refer back to as well.
Yeah.
It's just like, what module was that? Oh yeah, it was that one. Right, okay. I'll go back and look. Yeah.
It took us a long time to get that framework in to make it easy, so that you can kind of signpost yourself back to where you need to be. But yeah, absolutely, we love that. And that's one of the things that I really love about it. It's not just an investment for this year. And I know we run it once a year, so everybody thinks it's an investment just for this year. But actually, we know from all of our previous alumni, it's relied upon regularly, because you're never going to stop doing social media. And this is a big truth moment. If you have a business on social media, you're never going to stop. That's it now. It's happening forever. So you're going to be able to refer back to it and make it this easy on yourself forevermore, which is just such a wonderful thing.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Oh, thank you so much for coming on and chatting to me. darling. I really do appreciate it. And thank you to all of our viewers. We had a few people bob in and out and watch throughout. So thank you so, so much. There will be more interviews throughout the week whilst Audience Attraction 2022 is open. I can't believe I forgot to put my ticker on. I should put my ticker on now very quickly. It's open now. Please open now. Limited spaces. We've had so many people jump on. So many people have already have jumped on, and actually, I think more than any other year, people are just going for it, which is fantastic. I'm so glad. But it does mean that spaces are going quickly. So if you want to join us, please don't delay. Jump on in and make sure that you've secured your space. Okay, darling, thank you so much. I really appreciate you coming on this and having this time with me. And you look wonderful. It's so lovely to see you looking so well and doing so well live. I don't believe for 1 minute you don't do well on live or video. You're doing brilliantly.
I'm all right on interview. It's when I'm on my own.
Definitely gets you better. Definitely. So thank you so much, and thank you everybody who's watched. Please do give us a hashtag replay, and if you need me for anything, you can find me in the free group or you can message the page. Have a great afternoon, everybody.